Hello and welcome to the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. It's Tuesday, July 13th, 2021. Welcome one and all to your favorite 2 hours in cryptocurrency and all things technical analysis podcasting. We're back for another day. Hope everybody's doing all right. Bitcoin, of course, droopy, and we got the latest Fed inflation, the Fed CPI numbers, Consumer Price Index numbers. One of the leading stories today. Big uptick in inflation. Apparently, this is putting 2021 on track to one of the hottest inflation years on record, or at least in recent years. So, we're going to get into all this news and more. Hope everybody's doing all right this afternoon. Let's get into it. As always, joined by two of our CC analysts live right here, right now. Got Alex with us. Alex, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm well, thank you.
All right. Jason, how are you doing this afternoon?
Oh, fantastic. Just finally getting all the sheets wrapped up with Johnny, which I love, and getting things back on track, just being patient in our positions.
Yeah, sometimes things move slow here at CC, don't they? But it's good.
Well, the markets do sometimes. It's called sideways.
That too. But yeah, it's good to see the sheets are getting back in order. And yeah, shout outs to Johnny for, of course, coming through. And he's sorted a lot of his business over there, so he's got some free time to spare on doing more development for us again. So things are
busy
looking
man.
Up over here. Very much
appreciate
so.
having him.
Absolutely. All right. Let me just quickly turn Jason down just a touch. Make sure everybody's volume levels are kind of similar. They look good now. All right, we're gonna get right into it. Yeah, you sound okay now. All right.
May have lost him.
Oh, what happened?
Not sure what to do with my hands.
Alex, you hear me, right?
You're just fine.
All right. Something up with Jason. Apparently, he can't hear me, but I'll let Jason sort that out shortly.
Your lights lit up, Jack. Are you sure you're not muted?
No, we can hear Jack just fine. What about you, buddy?
Maybe I'm the one who fucked.
Yeah, maybe you're the one who is broken.
Yes. There he goes. He's back.
Yeah.
Are you back now? You hear us good?
I couldn't hear anything.
That's weird. Well, you're back now, I presume.
Yeah, I'm back now.
All right. Any updates on your trades? Because I'm proud to say I took take profit 1 on my Bitcoin short. Managed to tap that at the lows there, so I'm sitting pretty happy. I moved my stop loss to break even, and everything's going swimmingly as much as it can in such a droopy and boring market. How about you, Jason? I think you're in the short too, right?
Yeah, I'm in a BTC short right now. That's just kind of teetering around where I placed it. Still hoping for that press down. Took sushi yesterday, which is up about 5% on the day. So, I mean, we're just being patient here. XTZ is a little underwater, but for some reason they had a little pop to the upside. But, like, these things, someone mentioned it in the group today, just like, hey, finally getting somewhere with this. Like, man, you have to be patient with these things. And that's part of the lesson of trading, man. It's like sometimes you got to be patient, because if you keep flip-flopping, you're going to just chop yourself up, and then all of a sudden it does play out the way that you wanted it, and you're in the wrong position. Like, that's what makes this really hard, man, is being patient and being disciplined.
Yeah, well said. Of course, I had to practice a bit of patience. Price kind of moved against me on Monday, but since then we've hit a take profit, and I'm happy. I mean, at this point, we seem to be kind of in like an established range here, so this should really be, you'd think, relatively easy to try to sell bottoms, or sell or short into the bottoms, and sell the tops. Well, I think what I meant to say is relatively easy, at least for me so far, has been to kind of
the first trade you've taken in a while, though.
First trade in a while, and I guess I regret. I guess what I'm saying is I regret not selling more. This range seemed to be pretty clear for the last couple of weeks. Seems like some pretty decent opportunities to scalp.
Well, it's always clear in hindsight, man. It's always clear in hindsight.
Yep. All right, well, let's get into it, guys. You know how we're going to do the next 2 hours. Going to, of course, cover everything from this intro before we get into the news, and then we get into the main analysis brought to you by Alex. And second hour, get into the AMA and chart request section of the show. So stand by for that. Get your requests ready in a bit. We'll also open that D Live chest an hour and 45 minutes into the show. So about an hour and a half from now, we get into that chest. All right. In the meantime, let's quickly check in on Bitcoin, see what the latest price action looks like. Yeah, we've been selling off since Sunday evening, and here we are currently at 32,800 on Bitcoin, mostly sideways. But here's Mink signaling for a continuation short on today's candle. If it closes anything like this, still more or less chopping up inside the Keltner channel. Today's buyback. Let's take a look on what hourly has brought us right back into the baseline on the daily. Yep, here's the bounce. Here's a big drop off just what, 6 hours ago. Yeah, while you sleep, here's the price action. Nice 2% to move to the downside on the hourly candle. Got bought up a little bit, but still looking mighty weak. We'll see what comes next for Big Daddy Bitcoin. Take a quick look at Ethereum. Ethereum doing something similar. Here's Ethereum on the daily. Yeah, getting sold right into this Keltner channel. Not a whole lot going on. Minx has already been short for a number of days here on Ethereum. Maybe still wait for a full size close below the baseline, which is currently around 1996. Here's a look at Ethereum, Bitcoin. Yeah, still dropping. Had a nice rise against Bitcoin the week prior. Here we are descending. This trend over with? We'll find out in a little bit. EOS currently at 394. Man, I really need to consider setting up for an EOS, a long-term EOS long. I'm gonna parlay with Alex for this one. Alex, I need a good entry for an EOS long. I feel like this could be the start. This somewhere around here, we might be very well finding our bottom. I'd hate to miss another crazy EOS run up like we had back here, right? Look at all the support we had over here, and then we just took off. I wouldn't want to miss this price action again on EOS. Yeah, this was nearly 300% move. Any luck? I'll maybe catch the next one. XRP, 62 cents. Not a lot to say here. Here's DOT still listing away.
Everything looks the same.
Everything looks about the same. You might be right on that. Yep, Cardano looking a lot like the Ethereum chart we looked at. Here's Doge. Ooh, continuation short on Doge getting printed by Minx today. But man, like WADA is just dead flat. Might get a full close below the baseline today, though. Here is a look at gold.
We're just not moving down fast enough on Doge to activate that short.
Yep, pretty much. Here is gold. Currently at a little over 1,800. Seems to have responded just a little bit to the CPI news today. And here's the Dixie. Big move up. Can't wait to hear Alex's thoughts on that. CRO. Oh yeah, Crow is in fact one of the coins on the bubbles today, albeit a small one, but Crow inching up.
Green.
I mean, if you think about it, the Dixie news, the Dixie moving up is the opposite of what should be happening if inflation was happening. The dollar should be losing value.
You think so?
The
exactly.
The Dixie moving up is like very anomalous if it's true that the CPI is showing that there's a lot of inflation and there's money printing and etc. Right?
You'd think so, but no, Dixie continues to tick upwards. Curious indeed. Curious.
Yeah.
All right, well, there's a quick look at the latest price action brought to you by some of the CC indicators. Let's go ahead and get into the bubbles right now. All right, here is a look at your top gainers in the alt space today. Of course, a couple are missing from bubbles as always, but among these ones here, the Axie Infinity is back, and it's posted another 28% up today. Yeah, this one's been a runner as of late, up nearly 30%. Yeah, Harmony, one coin, up nearly 9%, and you have the likes of HBAR. HBAR up 8.5%. And some smaller gainers here, the likes of OKB, Crypto.com, Tezos, Ontology, Wi-Fi, Flow, AVAX. Yeah, they're all posting single-digit gains today. Otherwise, it's a sea of losers here in the alt space. Everybody down single digits today as well. Among the biggest ones, SNX, Synthetics down nearly 9%, and OMI down nearly 8.5%. All right, mixed bag in the bubbles today. What else was up today? Pretty big. Let me just glance over here at this one. Yeah, we have SLP. SLP is up nearly 42% today. Not on the list, of course. I know SLP gets requested sometimes here on the channel. And this farm, this Harvest Finance token farm, is up nearly 25% today as well. So there's a couple decent gainers not listed here as well. Anybody in farm or SLP? Those coins do come across our request line from time to time. But there is your look at the bubbles. Let's get into the next piece. Here we go. Alright, I guess we can hop into the news next. And yeah, I do have a poll. In fact, so we're getting into the news, and then I'll post the poll in the live chat very shortly. Oh, and shout outs to whoever dropped a diamond. Rhino.T.D just donated a diamond, writing Happy Tuesday in the live chat. Well, thank you, Rhino.T.D, for that diamond. Very generous. Alright, get into the news. Alright, one of the top stories today, of course, making the rounds. CPI surged 5.4% in the year, ending in June. The largest year-over-year gain since '08. But the numbers are unlikely to influence Fed policy anytime soon, says Blockworks.com. Let's see here. So, excluding food and fuel, inflation rose 4.5%. It's the largest increase since June '91. So I guess depending how you measure it, used car and truck prices rose 10%, making up the bulk and more than a third of the overall inflation rise this month. The first CPI index report since the Fed last met in June, and it was released earlier today, and the numbers show that inflation talk is not likely to end anytime soon. CPI surged 5.4% in the year ending June, largest year-over-year gain since '08. The index for used cars and trucks surged about 10.5%, accounting for more than a third, as I mentioned earlier. Let's see here. The news comes just before investor and economist eyes will turn to Fed Chairman Jerome Powell on Wednesday when he begins his two-day testimony in Congress on the state of monetary policy. Ooh, very prescient opportunity to talk about the state of monetary policy, given how things are looking right now in the markets and all the CPI running away. Questions regarding inflation, bond purchase tapering, and housing are expected to dominate the discussion. CPI numbers are not likely to influence the Fed policy in the near future. Powell is expected to maintain his stance that inflation is transitory. Higher prices for used cars, plane tickets, and hotel rooms are due to supply chain issues and a resurgence in demand brought on by reopening efforts. Given where the economy was during the lockdown just a year ago, significant year-over-year increases are to be expected, Powell has said. Quote, when money supply goes up substantially from fiscal stimulus, it increases the demand that people have for many types of goods and services, said Lynn Alden, founder of an investment strategy group. And however, the supply of those goods and services did not increase, so naturally we're running into supply constraints of various degrees of length. Alright, so it's a simple supply and demand issue, guys. The supply chains are crunched. Only so many Air Jordans getting delivered to your local Foot Locker.
Yeah, that's... Lynn Alden brings up a good point in a sense, but I disagree with her reading of it. It's true that... look, it's true that supply and demand affect prices, obviously, but we could have large price increases just based on a supply crunch period without an increase of demand caused in inflation. And we know supply chains across the world have been just utterly wrecked over the past year. Just from the various destruction that has happened due to the pandemic and things grinding to a halt and there's not being enough containers, things being stuck at ports. We've seen things happen again and again to the supply chain over the last year. I don't think these increase in prices necessarily need to be driven by an increase in in consumer demand, especially because you look at consumer credit, and consumer credit has contracted. You know, where is the demand from there? So we see mortgages falling over the past few months. I don't know if I necessarily agree.
No, I feel you there. It does seem mostly related, of course, to the supply crunch first and foremost. And yeah, it seems like a lot of products are hard to come by right now, or at the very least have quite a delay in being able to get them. But I guess in this case, the question now is the Fed going to intervene? As this whole matter circles around the matter of transitory inflation. In this case, we have a quote here, quote, "We know inflation's running hot, but the Fed doesn't think it's going to be lasting. The market is reacting as the inflation is transitory, but we don't know where the inflation will settle," said this one analyst here from Steve's report research, or Seven's report research, I should say. Quote, "I'm of the belief that it won't stay at 5% for very long, but might settle eventually around 3% or so, which is doable, which is double what we've been used to for a very long time." No, I mean, at this point, we'd probably take 3% than 5%, right? But with that said,
3% inflation would be good for
yeah, inflation running hot, and as he points out, the market is reacting as if inflation is transitory. So as we mentioned earlier, just touched on it very briefly, of course, was the Dixie still ticking up? A very curious matter given this. So clearly the market's kind of signaling that they do in fact think that this is transitory. It's not going to be permanent. This is just as, you know, just give it a little while, another 6 to 12 months, the world will maybe be getting back to normal, and at this point inflation will balance out once supply chains are up and running at full capacity, etc., etc. May there be a case that that's not going to happen? Maybe. Something tells me this entire crisis might drag out for many more years to come.
It's likely.
Then again, I'm kind of pessimistic. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know where you guys feel. This, I guess, maybe where the poll will come in handy. I'll get to that in just a few minutes. Let's see here. The stock market fell slightly following the news, but remained relatively stable, signaling that investors seem to be sticking with Powell's transitory message, at least for now. Treasury yields dipped marginally as well. All right, so markets are currently fully on board with this transitory explanation. Man, I am not so convinced just yet, but Bitcoin, of course, amidst all of this, drooping down a couple points today. So there you go, guys. Are you not yet? You not scared yet of your inflation? We'll find out. All right. Not too news heavy today beyond just the CPI story. But I do have a few more things queued up here. Let's take a look. All right, so the FBI has issued a warning to crypto stakeholders about potential cyber attacks. All right, even the FBI is giving you guys the warning here. FBI, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, has issued a warning that cyber criminals are increasingly targeting crypto exchanges, third-party payment platforms, as well as private owners of digital assets. Right, guys, were you not aware of this? All the scammers DMing you and posting scammy comments on YouTube? Was that not warning enough? Well, here comes the Fed to give you another reminder. It's a warning first reported by Bleeping Computer. The FBI says cyber criminals are employing various techniques such as identity theft in order to gain access to their victims' crypto. Again, if you've been in the space for a while, this doesn't seem too new, but let's see what the FBI has to add. Quote, according to the FBI, attackers are using several tactics to steal and launder cryptocurrency, including technical support fraud, SIM swapping, aka SIM hijacking, and taking control of their target's crypto exchange accounts via identity theft or account takeovers. All right, so if that's the main takeaway here, guys, I'm just not gonna go too deep into this, but it is a good time to kind of refresh people, especially if they're not super security conscious, of kind of the most common vectors I think we see nowadays in getting your accounts hijacked online. So they talk about stealing and laundering crypto. Okay, that's one thing, but including technical support, fraud, and SIM swapping. Yes, SIM hijacking. This is becoming increasingly more common, it seems. I mean, I hear about this all the time now. What to look out for. How does it work? All right, so basically technical support, fraud. They contact your tech support. Frequently, it kind of works in conjunction with the SIM swapping, right? They contact your cell phone service provider, and they claim they have enough of your personal details, your name, your address, your date of birth, sort of thing, and they'll go on and act as if they're you. They claim that they're you, and they'll ask to have a new SIM card dispatched, or be able to try to pick one up from an in-store kiosk. At which point, if the ISP does in fact confirm them as you, they end up getting their hands on your SIM card. And then, of course, if you're dependent on your SIM card, or your cell phone number for recovery, right? If you need to, if you're texted a 2FA code, so to speak, to your SIM card as a process of recovering your account, for instance, or just merely logging in. But say use your SIM card to recover your email, and then from there that you can. Once they have access to your email, they can get into your Exchange account and begin recovering your Exchange account. This is one of the most common vectors on the way in, guys. I really don't know how much there is to stop this.
Well, I mean, that like why they couple it with like Google Authenticator and stuff like that, like because you can get the phone, but you can't get the Authenticator.
Yes, absolutely. But not a lot of people use the Google 2FAs. That can actually lead to a lot of headaches too for some users. If they misplace it, they lose their phone, they didn't do a backup key phrase. That makes it even more difficult to sometimes recover.
Yeah, I've had that happen. One time I had my computer die and my phone stolen in the same week.
Wow.
And so I had backups of my passwords on one another, but not on the cloud or anything. So I was just kind of fucked.
Yep. Gotta have the backup.
I bet that was scary.
Gotta have that spare backup in your home safe somewhere.
Yeah.
Indeed, scary.
With all the home saves that I have.
Indeed. Having, of course, something like a Google 2FA, a dedicated 2FA with backup codes safely stored is a better solution, but not everybody does that. This is a major issue, and there's a lot of the onus is on your ISP, and we've seen several high-profile stories of people getting robbed along this vector here. If you are a high-profile target, if you have any kind of fishy feeling, I'm not sure what more you can do besides, maybe contacting your phone provider, having them leave a little note in your file saying, like, do like enhanced identity verification. If anybody comes calling customer service on your behalf, or claiming they're you, maybe a little note in the file to make sure they do their due diligence. It's unfortunate, but this is one of the biggest vectors here, and so the feds, of course, alerting you to it. This article points out crypto owners are encouraged to use multi-factor authentication on all crypto accounts, deny requests to download and use remote access apps, and always contact exchanges and payment companies via official phone numbers and email addresses. Guys, this place is so fraught with scams. It's absolutely crazy. Although I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys, if you've ever gotten a few DMs on Discord, I think you know how this space looks. It's a shark pool. Be careful out there. All right. Here is an interesting take from a Tether co-founder, William Quigley. He believes that non-fungible tokens, NFTs, could become ubiquitous within a decade. All consumer products will have NFTs, he said. They're going to serve as digital certificates of authenticity for retail goods. Fashion brands have taken to using blockchain technology to combat industry counterfeiting. Yeah, this is something I've been thinking about for a very long time. Indeed, I think everything is going to have, every piece of decent consumer good is going to have an NFT barcode to kind of go with it to guarantee its authenticity.
I've said it on the stream before. I think that NFTs are going to be a lot bigger than people think.
Yep, they are certainly going to be huge.
They can be used in so many different creative ways, not necessarily just for like funds, but like for receipts of authenticity and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I think that they're going to keep pressing this thing to where NFTs are just kind of the norm. Like, but we'll see.
Consumer goods, especially apparel, high-end apparel, fraught with fakes and counterfeits.
That Louis Vuitton bag.
Yep. How will these guys protect their IP and be able to assure authenticity to the customers? How to prevent, I guess, their brands and their products from being diluted by ever more rampant counterfeiting. Likely going to be in the form of NFTs. If you ever got an expensive watch, you know that Rolex comes with that certificate, that very fancy looking certificate of authenticity. That's going to enter the digital age one day, mark my words. It's going to come bundled with an NFT type of barcode with it, or QR code that will help, of course, confirm its authenticity.
Who it made by. Yep.
Yeah, I saw something interesting. Well, sort of interesting. I was at Crypto Monday, and someone had a wearable NFT. It's like this pendant that's got a screen on it that shows off whatever NFT you want it to be showing off. And on the one hand, it was a little bit. It had a little bit of a Flava Flav type feeling to it. Like the pendant was just maybe a little bit too big.
Way too big.
Yeah, but it's not like a bad idea. The implementation needs work, is what I'm saying. But it's not a bad idea, because a good artist could take something like that and run with it and have the NFTs be really cool that are shown off on whatever you're wearing.
Yeah, that's pretty nifty.
So I imagine, something like that could be done with the Rolex too. Be like, oh yeah, and this NFT comes with your pendant just has like a big arrow pointing at the Rolex on your wrist or something like that. Yeah.
It's like its own bling of itself pointing out your nice watch. Yeah. You have NFTs on NFTs on NFTs just describing all the things you have.
Yeah.
Portable. So this is like a portable art gallery.
Futuristic Flavor Flav. I like it.
Portable art gallery you wear around your neck to display all your high-priced NFTs.
My NFT hat that points out my NFT necklace that points to my Rolex.
Yeah, I don't want to make it sound like I'm bad-mouthing the project. I think the idea is cool. The giant pendant needs work, in my opinion.
I guess.
But I thought it was cool, and what you said about the Rolex made me think of that.
Yeah, certainly. In this case, Quigley refers to this as digital twins. All consumer products, the ones that can't be eaten at least, the next 10 years will have digital twins. Twins, they will have their NFTs. All right, so yeah, everything will have every product that rolls off a assembly line somewhere going to have an NFT twin to go with it. Digital.
Especially video games. I think video games where it'll be the biggest, like for items, skin, stuff like that, like especially when we can make it everything just cross universe to where you can go into one game then go into the other. Like I think that's going to be huge for games.
Indeed. Yeah. I'm wondering how long that's going to take, but hopefully sooner than later.
We're getting there. Kusama's remark system, RMRK, it came up with an interesting new feature for NFTs. So on Kusama, NFTs can own NFTs now, and that sounds a little odd, but let me explain the implementation of that to you. So imagine if you could, you've got an NFT character, and you could equip clothes or something onto the character. So, and in that case, the NFT would have NFTs on it, Or you could, have the NFTs in NFTs and NFTs. Like Jason said, imagine you put equip items into a backpack, and then the backpack goes onto the NFT character.
Yeah. And then you use that character that you stacked with NFTs to put up as collateral during your Pogs game.
Oh, I guess you could even go that far too. I'm sure they'll get fractionalization of NFTs, and then once you do that, you could use it as collateral. Sure, but anyway.
That's how we're gonna do our Pogs, man. You gotta throw it up, and if you lose it, you lose it.
I saw a comment actually, I think on our video a day or so ago. Somebody clarified that there's already some kind of Pogs blockchain-based game that's running on some blockchain gaming platform. I can't remember which one. Something kind of
Well,
obscure, but supposedly
we
one of
need
the games in their blockchain game suite is some kind of pod game.
we need to
It's
go
already
back and find where we said that and see when they implemented it and sue them.
Well, they can have this one for free, but indeed, somebody might have beat us to the punch. All right, let's see if there's anything else really here. Oh yeah, the S&P, the Dow Jones indices are launching a new cryptocurrency index. The S&P Cryptocurrency Broad Digital Market Index is being launched alongside 4 other benchmarks that track cryptocurrency based on market cap. S&P Dow Jones indices, the leading index providers, some of the world's largest equity benchmarks, have launched a new crypto index tracking performance of the broader asset class. S&P.
This is awesome. This means we have new charts to chart, guys.
Woo!
Yes, it's being labeled the BDM, the Broad Digital Market Index, and it tracks more than 240 digital assets at launch and represents an expansion of the firm's recently launched crypto benchmarks. In addition to the BDM, the company is also launching 4 other crypto-focused indices on Tuesday, each tracking various components of the digital market benchmark. These include S&P Crypto Large Cap Index, S&P Crypto BDM X Mega Cap Index, S&P Crypto BDM X Large Cap Index, and S&P Crypto Large Cap X Mega Cap Index. Whoa. That's some nuance there. All indexes rely on pricing information from Luca, a crypto-focused data provider, to determine the composition of each respective benchmark. Quote, the expansion of our digital market indices family gives us one of the broadest snapshots yet this rapidly growing asset class, with the ability to slice and dice by market cap, said Peter Rothman, the global head of innovation and strategy at S&P Dow Jones Indices. All right, so another day, another sign of kind of adoption and acceptance into the growing space. Yeah, for many investors in the crypto space, broader recognition from Wall Street could catalyze the sector to new highs in terms of adoption and value. That is for sure. That's well summarized here. All right, and finally, I guess we're running low on time for the news, so I'm going to mention one more story here. And that's, of course, one of the big rumors circulating today on crypto Twitter. It's currently flooded with rumors that Apple bought Bitcoin, and it's set to make an announcement soon.
As far as I can tell, this is just a Twitter joke.
Total BS? Total BS. All right.
Because if they really did buy it, we would see that reflected on the charts. Like,
no, not necessarily. Maybe like price absorption. Yep. On the recent lows was them. But as far as I can tell, this is just
total bulls. All right. Well, I won't dwell too long on it, but let's see what, if any, substance the story may have. They're said to have bought approximately $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. I mean, that's a sizable amount. That seems to beggar belief. Apple has not made any official statement to verify or deny the claims. Vocal pushers of the rumor on Twitter include the official handle of Galaxy Trading, the crypto company providing financial services, investment, and digital blockchain. The CEO of Chainlink, Joshua Roomsberg, who excitedly said he'll buy an iPhone to commemorate the event if it turns out to be true. I mean, yeah, if they picked up $2.5 billion worth, I too, even though I'm not an Apple user, I too would probably buy an iPhone to commemorate this moment. It would be notable. $2.5 billion from Apple, that would really be a shot. Let's see here. Notably, while Apple has not made any statement about buying Bitcoin, there have been continuous speculation in the news that they have not canceled out the possibility. Of course, following Tesla announcing its Bitcoin purchase in February, analysts were hopeful Apple would be one of the next major corporate purchasers. In particular, Reuters reported that RBC Capital Markets analysts thought that Apple Inc., with its access to world-class software and the secure ecosystem, could tackle the problem individuals face acquiring crypto assets due to know your customer laws and other regulations. Yeah, we covered this earlier this year, the speculation that, if Apple could get into the Bitcoin game and even begin offering Apple users a way to easily, Apple Pay their way to their Bitcoin or other crypto holdings, that would be a crazy development.
You have to assume they're working on that.
Yeah, again, we've touched on this before. There's a lot of money on the table here, waiting to be gobbled up. So much in just fees. You don't have to necessarily even believe in the technology, but there's so much margin to probably be had so much money on the table just to give your user base the ability to buy crypto. Not only that, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak at a recent virtual event was quoted as praising the merits of Bitcoin. Wozniak said Bitcoin, digital currency, gold, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we covered this the other day too. All right, but apparently it's just a rumor, guys. Might be total BS. Would be cool, though, if the news eventually broke that they did, in fact, gobble up a few $1 billion worth of the token at the recent lows. And once the news broke, we get that big move to the upside. Or, you know, kind of coinciding with that move at least. Man, this would be this could be it. This could be a good catalyst to get that price reaction. All right, guys.
I guess if it had actually happened.
If it happened, of course. But
Yeah,
again,
that's
I'm trying to visualize the win here. You know, I can visualize a news story breaking in August. Apple buys $3 billion worth of Bitcoin over the last couple months. And then the market starts ripping, roaring right on schedule for Q3, Q4 bull market return.
How does that old saying go? Wish in one hand, shit in the other. See which one fills up first.
Yes, good point. All right.
Wishes.
All right. Well, somebody's deploying the Lightning Network at least. But with that said, guys, I'm kind of out of time here. We might have to bring our Lightning wallets with us to the CC Vegas party, though, according to this story. All right, major adult entertainment venue in Sin City going to integrate the largest crypto thanks to the Lightning Network. Not going to say anything more, guys. We'll see you in Vegas. All right. Enough of that for now. Let's go ahead and let's introduce the poll here and shout out our peoples in the audience. All right. Here is the poll. I'm going to drop the poll link in the live chat. Here you go, guys. Should be over on YouTube as well. All right. Here is a look.
I wonder if that strip club is also the same one that puts QR codes on its strippers.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
Very, very technically forward, eh? I like that.
Pretty soon they can become the NFTs.
Well, once you're stuck in your pod living the VR life, yes, even the adult entertainers will be kind of script that's fed NFT tokens in, something like that. We'll figure that out one day soon enough, I'm sure.
Fungible.
Here is a look at today's poll, guys. Let me refresh it to see how many votes we already may have in. Yeah, 3 votes already in. The poll is the following, guys. Inflation continues to accelerate with the latest US CPI data pointing to a 13-year high. Are you concerned about this trend in inflation? 2 very simple options for you in this poll. First option is yes, inflation is running away. Second option, of course, is the no, it's purely transitory inflation. Fed will nip this in the bud. All right, so of course we covered the inflation story just a few minutes ago. Where do you sit on this topic? Is inflation running away, or is this just transitory? We'll be back to normal in no time. Do let us know. 3 votes in. Currently, inflation running away is the leading response to this poll, guys. Hopefully you got the link to the poll. Do look forward to seeing your response. Let me know if you're on Twitch or YouTube and you don't see the link. I'll paste it in there for you as well. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get into the live chat. See who's kicking it with us this afternoon, as always. Cracking Crypto has one of the most loyal, one of the best audiences any content creator could ever ask for. Thank you guys again for being so consistent and so unwavering with your support. Daniel. Actually, I got to drag this down. Here we go. Daniel is with us here in the YouTube live chat first. Shout out to Daniel. You're here first most days, guy. How are you getting notification before everybody else? Shout outs to you. David Rice. Great day all. Shout outs to David Rice. Ron Legato waving to us on YouTube as well. Shout outs to Ron Legato. Mr. Ether's with us. Sup to you. Rhino.T.D. Good evening, one and all. Good evening to you. B-Flow Reddit. Hola. Blackbird 987. Hey yo. Shoutouts to Blackbird. Bob the Builder, me, pre-coffee. Yo, the show's on. Me, post-coffee. Are you ready to rumble? Yes. That's how I feel most days as well.
Buffer lifestyle.
Until I get that coffee in me, I am not my usual peppish self. David Morales, what a bullish day. Shoutouts to David Morales. Bullish for what exactly? But maybe you're just tongue-in-cheek. GBU Professor Wally, sup, fool? Well, Mr. Wally, welcome back to the show. It's good to see you.
A while, Wally.
Yep, he comes in and out all the time. Alex1233, yo, what's up? All right. What's up to Mr. Alex1233? David Rice, hey all, the extra funds in your account is mine. Please send it home. All right, all those, all those gains that you locked in overnight, those are actually David's. So make sure you send it to him. Taz Blitz, good evening, all. Shoutouts to you. These guys operate like clockwork, says Bob the Builder. Hard to believe. Every day, these guys are here at the same time. What a team. Yeah, well, we're dedicated. We're dedicated, and we do this full time. This is not just some part-time hobby gig for us. This is real. Our traders are here around the clock, trading nonstop. If you would like a direct line to one of our analysts, do check out Premium Triple Plus. Reach Alex by phone any time of day, any time of night. Our analysts are on standby.
I am not answering anything at 2 a.m. Don't even try.
Yeah, he doesn't even like me talking to him.
I know. I was trying to make that joke.
Oh, lie. Don't listen to Jack. Don't call me after midnight.
All right. Taz Blitz, shout outs to you. Polly B, what's up, Polly B? Good to see you today. No tube today. We are on YouTube. I should be at least. Hex is killing it today, says David Morales. What is happening? I don't know. Hex is just that one that just keeps slapping you in the face. Unbelievers, heathens. You got what was coming to you. Should have scooped up Hex at that 1 cent mark, huh? Polly B, oh, my axes are going bonkers again. Well, congrats, Polly B. At least somebody in the chat has exposure to this crazy Axie Infinity run-up. Blackbird saying, you guys have shorts on? I am flat. I'm mostly flat too. But I did take a short over the weekend and finally hit a take profit overnight, so I'm happy. David Rice, what happened? Did YouTube not like us anymore? Why? Is YouTube offline? Tell me it ain't so. I'll check in a very brief second. This just in, Bitcoin's price declines because deafness. Oh, causes deafness. Gotcha. Well, I wasn't aware that was one of the side effects. You can never rely on YouTube. The censorship is a joke. Yes, it certainly is. Boris Bitcoin, do you guys feel this could be like September, November 2018 sideways range when Bitcoin broke down from 6 to 3K? I'm not going to lie. When I look at the chart on the daily, it does have that early 2018 look to it, right? We came off the very top. We went sideways for a while, and then finally we dumped off a cliff. I feel like that's kind of what the pattern looks like right now. Very, very vaguely or very loosely speaking. Do you guys? All right, we read that. David Morales, Hex doesn't look the same. I guess not. Yes, Hex, the one coin that seems to buck the trend. Good luck with Hex. Let's see here. Multiple failed rallies. Indeed, that's what that period in 2018 looked like. Central bank manipulation, says Franklin MC. Toes in the sand, writes good day all. And finally, you think we have entered the next multi-year bear market, asks Blackbird 987. I don't think so, not yet. Maybe if we take another major tumble and stay there for a while, that could be it. But I don't know. We're still hovering around this 50% correction area. I guess I'll wait till the next leg down or up. Gravy, grits, and greens. Dixie measured against other fiats, so it could rise during inflation if those others are more or weaker. Yeah, well put, Gravy, grits, and greens. Let's see here. Rhino TD joins us. Tenacious V is with us on YouTube. Let's see here. I think that's about it. Roy Coin. I have a question about trading bots. Do you know any good ones? Don't want to code my own since I'm not capable, but I want to set up conditions. Also should be able to trade on Renko. I don't know about advising you on Renko powered trading bots. Maybe something over at 3 commas might have something appropriate to you.
Maybe AutoView. would work for you? Because I mean, I don't even know what your system is set up on. So like any trading bot we suggested to you would really greatly depend on how you have your indicator set up for your system. So presuming that you have just TradingView indicators, then you need something that will grab signals off of TradingView. So something like AutoView. That's I've heard good things about that. Have you heard anything, Jason? I know Mr. Ether was for a while playing around with a few of the TradingView things, but have you played it all? Jason, is he here?
Jason, you still here?
Yep. Yep.
Did you use any of the trading bots?
I have not. No. I depend on Johnny for that. I just create the trading strategies.
All right. Yeah. Well, maybe this is a feature we one day may very well offer here at CC, but that's the input we got for you. Man, there's a lot of comments today, but unfortunately, I do have to get into the next part of the show right now. Next segment is up next. We're gonna hop into Alex's live stream and get him to do a quick look over the market. Chico in the live chat, I see you. RK is with us as well. RK joined late asking, did I miss anything? No, you didn't miss too much. We just mostly covered the inflation news. Yes, the CPI numbers are in today and they are trending pretty hard. So we covered that. Not much else, RK, but guess what? You're here just in time to get into the main analysis. All right. Anything else here? Someone inside T-Mobile employee made unauthorized SIM swap to steal crypto account multiple times. They saw proof of it inside their database, but they still deny it, says Daniel.
Can you run this just like a minute longer so I could go number one real quick? And
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. Alex needs to walk away for a few minutes, so let him do that. I'm going to read a couple more comments. Yes, this T-Mobile story, I think I know which one you're referring to, and that was a news item maybe a year or so ago. Somebody got ripped off to a tall order. Sometimes it's even inside job. I think if it's not the story I'm thinking of, I've heard of at least one story of hinting at an inside job. You gotta remember some of these people are young. You know, they're working at T-Mobile or you name it, customer service center. What do they call call center? They're working at some T-Mobile call center. They have access to some admin stuff, and they get a beat on you, or one of their buddies, one of their hacker buddies, gets a beat on you, and they say, "Oh, you're over there. You can push a SIM card issuance through, and get it mailed to me. Hook me up, and I'll give you a chunk of the earnings." Right? That's sometimes how it can break down inside jobs, guys. When you're working minimum wage at some call center somewhere, sometimes you'll take the deal. In fact, I'll give you another example. This is straight out telecom as well. I know somebody who's decently high up in management at one of my local telecoms here, and they deal with this all the time. A lot of their employees, especially like the younger ones, right, your early 20s maybe, they get approached by very shady customers who come in and offer them, a few $1,000s in cash on the spot and say, push all these orders through in your system. They just need an employee to activate a few accounts, get a few phones from the back, do less, because we have a lot of due diligence with like KYC when it comes to issuing SIM cards here. They deal with a lot of this. A lot of their younger, more immature employees, they take the deal. They take a few grand under the table, and then they go issue a whole bunch of products that end up, I guess, getting flagged as stolen sooner than later. But it's a problem. It's a problem in the industry. Blackbird says that happened to a buddy of mine. Yes, and certainly. All right, Alex, are you back?
Not out.
Yes. Oh, he's still out. Jack is still up there. Yes, Crypto Bull, I am still way up there. There's a lot of comments here today, guys. I wish I could read them all. Chico Blanco Verano, austerity is real and not imaginary tax on the poor. Inflation fear-mongering is what keeps guaranteed services low. I kind of agree with you there. Plebs beg for their own austerity due to this false dialectic. All right, Chico Blanco Verano, cutting through the bullshit and the fake dialectics.
That sounds that argument, I like it. It's a little. Is that Don Camden or Scooter? That sounds a little Scooter.
It's got to be Scooter. That sounds
Chico,
so much like Scooter.
No. That's Crypto Chico over here on YouTube. follow him at Crypto Chico. There you go,
I
guys.
thought Moonbeams was Scooter, right? Moonbeams and Lambo.
I
Yeah.
don't really keep track of all these profiles. You can ask you know, his NSA handlers for that kind of information.
Well, yeah. I try to make sure I know which one of our members is which.
Word. All right, I'm connecting to Alex's stream for now. Let's do it. Currently
All right.
looking at the
Did I-
BTC USD daily Coinbase chart. Hopping over there now. All right, guys. This is where I dive into the background, start extracting all your requests. Please, pretty please. I did notice a lot of you guys, a lot of the comments today. If you could, repost your request or post your request now if you haven't yet. It would help me make it easier to isolate those. In the meantime, I'll be back in just a few minutes. Alex, you hold it down from here.
So, today's price action is, on the one hand, it's very tepid. We're not getting much of a price movement. Bitcoin is only down a little less than 1% from yesterday. So it's not really setting off any alarm bells at this time, but things don't look great. We were all the way underneath the Keltner channel here when I started my sentence, but now we're starting to creep back above here. For right now, I think the best thing for us to do is to just continue to sit on our hands here on Bitcoin. We don't have enough momentum to really be interested in taking a short trade. First of all, I thought we were going to be on the other side of this, but now we're not even on the other side of the Keltner channel around our moving average. So we've got no momentum. We're still inside of our no trade zone, and really the only things that are kind of concerning here, besides the fact that we're like down 1% today, is we have this lower high here on lower time frames. Let's go down here, kind of see. Higher high, lower high, lower high. That's not really a great look. If price is marching down on lower highs, we wouldn't really call this bullish price action. But as you can see, we're also hanging around the this area of support still. You see it here, support here, support here, support in this area. So I guess we could still bounce in this spot. On very low time frames, you can see it kind of looks like it wants to try and bounce here. Same cannot be said for Ethereum. This doesn't even look like it really wants to bounce from this spot. Ethereum also not yet a short in this spot, but we are kind of getting follow through from the rejection of this resistance support level that we've been kind of eyeing. Let me kind of extend this out so you can see what we're looking at. So see resistance here, support here, support here, support here, support here, break down. Now we start experiencing resistance from this level again, including a very recent rejection as of yesterday. So overall, this is very concerning for Ethereum in this spot. Maybe more so than Bitcoin. And that's, of course, reflected in Ethereum Bitcoin, which is kind of the ratio between the two, where we really seem to have
ran into resistance.
Yeah, depending on how we want to draw this, then there we go. Should be getting a 3-day cross under here. When do we close? Oh, this is a Huobi chart. Okay, so it'll be tomorrow we get the 3-day close, but it's kind of concerning with the with this what is this, hanging man? Yeah, this hanging man candle we had a few days back. Yeah, I see more downside here for Ethereum versus Bitcoin. We've got a lot of room beneath us without much support. We move through this low volume node very rapidly. So if we could easily come down here, retest these lows at 5.5 million sats, and even as far as 4.5 million sats. So, hey. ADA also looking really rough here. We ADA Bitcoin finally broke below that this uptrend that we've been eyeing, like a lot of various alts did, especially I mean, just especially Ethereum. You know, Ethereum was, like a lot of alts, trending up against Bitcoin, and now this week it isn't. So, I have not looked at Bitcoin dominance today, but I imagine when we look over there, it's going to be up. All the alts seem to have been losing value today a lot harder than Bitcoin is.
Barely.
Yeah, barely up. Okay, we're really sideways here on Bitcoin. That's interesting. Uniswap perp is the, and Uniswap perp is not to be confused with Uniperp. Uniswap perp is the indice that represents Uniswap tokens. This is the only contract that's up today, because Dragon perp, as you can see, looking kind of like we're getting a rejection from this local point of control right here. Not very hot. DeFi perp, again, this is looking very similar to Ethereum, with a rejection from the resistance and support of this area. That's what I want to do. Man, all these charts just look so bad today. Even though they're not even below their moving averages yet, and they still look pretty rough. Exchange perp is really trying to hold on here. Did we finally break below this trend today? We did. Okay. Exchange perp was one of these, was one of the tokens that had actually held its uptrend yesterday and the day before, but we did finally break it today. So, you can't see me, but I'm doing that thing where you wipe your hands off as if you're done with something. Yeah. So that's it. Exchange perp is over. Exchange tokens are going down with everything else in this spot, I imagine. You know, just one more push down into the liquidity of this area. Push down here. We kind of trade here, and then we come back up. There's some sense to it. Kind of retest the lows down here on the outside, on the other side of our broken down trend. Push, push, push. And then we end up, we find final support, and then we come back up, and then late shorters here are faded. So, it's just curious that Uniswap perp is kind of stronger than the other tokens today. And look at our oscillator. Is our oscillator just resetting here as we consolidate and trade sideways? This could be interesting. If we get a nice turn up here on our oscillator, that will give us a good continuation long signal on my system. This is interesting. So, if you guys have any Uniswap tokens that you think would be good for us to take a look at today, let me know. Looking at some of my list here, I see an interesting amount of green. It's not huge, like 80% stuff. It's not like, you know, Uniswap is not bubbling today. But I see some green. Look at Bow. Bow is back over 6. Look at this. I don't know. That kind of looks like it's setting up, doesn't it, guys?
I could break a trend at least.
I kind of like that. We're not totally there yet, but it's a little interesting looking. All right, so I'll let you guys present me with Uniswap tokens if you really want to look at that. But I just, that is something interesting that I've noted here. That's a little bit of a divergence in what's getting bought up today, according to the indices. So I would like to look at individual tokens and see if we can, see if there's some that look especially juicy. All right, so I guess that's really all I have to say about crypto right now. For the most part, there's just, looking at the indices, there's no obvious, like, oh yeah, DeFi is about to pop off. There's, everything just looks really, really questionable right now. I think the best thing to do is just continue to just keep a close eye on things. I think if we do get a bounce, it could be strong and hard. Just like Jason was pointing out, we had back in 2000 and late 2019 on Bitcoin, we were around 14K. So that would be this area back here.
Right there. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. That's why I think we need another stab to the lows, but it doesn't necessarily need to happen in the exact same order. But
yeah,
it just reminds me of.
So yeah, we ended up in this really long consolidation period. We broke down, we consolidated even harder here, broke down again, and then anybody who tried to short that spot was just immediately and violently
it's like a 38% move or something like that. Like, you're gonna get wiped using even low leverage on that.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna 30%. That's crazy.
And then anybody who longed that was also immediately faded.
Yep, because then it dropped to the lows.
Yeah. Fucking Bitcoin, man.
She's a fickle bitch.
Yeah. Well, anyway, okay. So let's go ahead and take a look at traditionals. Well, it looks like Jason may end up being right about the Dixie here. If you guys will remember yesterday, I was pretty convinced that we were getting a rejection here on the dollar, but Jason thought it looked like we were maybe going to plow right through resistance. And at this point, we're probably about an hour or so away from him being right.
Yeah, and I mean, this is the spot to be watching too, whether it rejects from this the top of this range or whether we blow through. I think if we blow through it, it's gonna be pretty obvious that we got some continuation going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dixie's the one to watch at the moment, and that's ran up quite a bit in the last hour, hasn't it?
Yeah, when we were looking at it earlier today, it was right around 92.5.
It was lower than that.
All
sure.
Units, whatever you want to call them. Good old Dixie units.
Whistling Dixie.
So, all right, let's play our standard game. If the dollar is up, then the traditionals have got to be pretty down. Let's see, because right now the rest of the Forex market is down. So, what do we got here? Dow Jones today. You guys see what I did? All right, yes.
I think you added an end to it, didn't you?
All right, so this is interesting. We've been talking about maybe coming up and pegging the volume that was up in the wick of this area. We did that on very high momentum yesterday, and then today, no more momentum. It's kind of interesting. Where did all our momentum go? I thought we were going to get some really strong follow-through here on the Dow. I was prepared to really have to eat my words here, but it really kind of petered out today. So that is it's not enough for us to become bearish here on the Dow. For now, let's have a trend line ready. Let's keep an eye on this here and see if the Dow breaks the trend while we're keeping our eyes on it. And if it does, then it could become an interesting shorting opportunity here on traditionals, where maybe people have gotten just too used to being bullish, and this is kind of one last push towards the highs. But let's not forget what the Nasdaq and the SPY did. So we didn't think those could push into new all-time highs either, and they did. But for now, while we're at resistance, we're definitely not longing. So we're going to wait for the Dow to break into new all-time highs before we're interested at all here in the Dow at this point.
Starting to look like soybean.
I'm not sure how I feel about today's candle as things stand.
I think it's over.
Think it's over?
I don't know. I don't think it can keep pressing up like that, but I think it's gonna happen soon, that break. That looks pretty telling there, but it's still not a break of trend, man.
Yeah, but it's still not. But right now, things still look bullish on the QQQ, which is representative of the Nasdaq. It's an ETF. We've got a continuation long signal that came through yesterday, so we did get some follow through today on that. I don't know if that was really enough to have hit take profit one. Most likely not. So I imagine the S&P is also going to be down today. Okay, so we gap down today on open. So we open here. We open down today. We try and trade up. We do make a new all-time high. We kind of collapse back down below the high of yesterday's candle. I'm noticing decreasing volume here. This is kind of interesting. It's not fantastic that we did not gap up into new all-time highs, but instead gap down and then kind of moved up into all-time highs and petered out here. Well, interestingly, the 3 hour is kind of giving us a bearish divergence here. I think the 4 hour is probably better, but it's not curled over yet. This will be giving us a bearish divergence if we have a down day tomorrow, I think. Well, that's interesting. So we are finally seeing, because the dollar was kind of up today yesterday, and the traditionals they didn't care. So they were up yesterday, and that was kind of anomalous. But today things are a little back how we would expect them to play out with the dollar being up. Crypto is kind of getting crushed underneath the weight of the dollar rising, and traditionals are also experiencing a pretty heavy tailwind, or headwind rather. I want to look at some more broad market stuff here. Platinum. This is an interesting place to be taking profits. If you look at this is where we would be expecting to find resistance. So we got resistance here. See, watch my crosshairs here. So resistance here, resistance in this spot, resistance here, resistance here. So this is a good area to be taking profits on a platinum long. If you held through this spot right here where it seemed like we were rejecting, I could see us retesting $1,000 again from this side of our broken trend. Palladium, more rejection. This looks real bad on the daily. So this area right here is our, please don't do that. This area right here is our daily resistance, with weekly resistance down here at 2,700. We do appear to be rejecting from the daily resistance. Have we broken the uptrend? Looks like it.
Certainly appears that way.
Lower time frames. I think this probably is. This is a good low risk area to try shorting Palladium if you think that this is a topping pattern right here. With our push back towards the daily 3-day high right here, we're still under some of our long-term moving averages. We're under this resistance area right here. If you end up being wrong, you got an easy place to place your stop, and you can think, okay, well, if we push higher, then I might actually even be interested in longing again. So yeah, this is a good setup. This is just an ideal place to be looking to short here. We've got decreasing momentum as we reach a long time resistance level near all-time highs on something after as we make a lower high in this spot. If we make a lower high here, that's it. I would definitely want to short that. Silver, you guys know I've been bearish on silver for weeks and weeks now.
Getting that break.
Still inside of this consolidation area, but I expect a breakdown and further downside on silver coming up soon. $20 retest on silver. This entire area right here is very attractive for us to show up at. With there being long time support here, a point of control. There's a lot of different confluences here around the 20, and then $20 is just a nice psychological level, right? Like, oh, okay, well, if silver isn't worth $25, then silver must be worth $20. You know, it's got like that nice roundness to it. I like 20 here for silver. Gold, I think I want to see continued upside here towards 1850. Maybe. The daily is already starting to give us an exit signal. We're not quite curled enough, but we don't have a cross here, but I think it's kind of interesting. Interestingly, Taiwan may be pushing into new all-time highs here. Singapore pushing up into resistance, maybe breaking our downtrend. Netherlands, it did it. Oh my God, it held the uptrend. It pushed up into new all-time high. Crazy. Wow.
Only in the netherworld.
Wow. This is encouraging. If some of the European economies can push into new all-time highs, then why not the Dow Jones? Why not crypto, right? Japan, not so hot. Still inside of our consolidation high here. This is not fantastic looking. I don't know. Last week's candle is interesting. You know, if we can't go down, then we must go up. So if we don't break down below this area soon, then we'll just go up. It's crazy, but I mean, hey, that means there's so many buyers here that sellers are having a very difficult time overcoming them. And eventually, if buyers do not give in, then sellers will run out of supply. So we don't often talk about things as the markets as supply and demand vehicles, but you need to understand that that's why if we cannot go down, if for whatever reason prices won't go down any further, sellers will become exhausted in that area and buyers will take over. Man, India still hanging around this high. Jeez. Remember, this area was the target here for this inverse head and shoulders that was on the India 50. It's interesting. We're just still hanging around at this area. I thought we would have broken down by now. I think it's still probably worth a short. UK 100 still trapped below resistance. This is ugly. It's worth a short, most likely. Hong Kong, yeah, seems to have completely broken down below support and is now testing it from below. This is probably continued downside here for Hong Kong. France may have had an up week, but when I look at this, I see an intact downtrend. So this is kind of interesting here. This appears to be a descending broadening wedge pattern. I don't know, it's kind of sheer here. Maybe it's a little much to expect a movement all the way down. What's look like on lower time frames?
Yeah, that'll be interesting if it breaks out, because it's got quite a ways to fall if it doesn't.
Clean this up a little bit if I'm going to call it a pattern. I don't know. Maybe these aren't even real lines right here. Maybe I'm just
seeing it the way you want to see it.
Yeah, because when you look on higher time frames here, we're already starting to peak out of this.
Yep.
We'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's not like we're trading the France 40 here very hard, but these are all kind of clues about what's going to happen in crypto. We see what happens in the world markets. It's an idea of what may happen in traditional markets. We see what happened in traditionals. It's an idea of what may play out in crypto. We know these markets are correlated very strongly, day to day, if not minute to minute, of course. And just, I think it's helpful to have a more complete view of what's going on in the world, then give you an idea of what could come up in crypto coming up. Even though I use the word "come up" way too many times in that sentence, you guys know what I mean. Aussie 200, we look trapped under resistance here. I wouldn't want to long this area, that's for sure. Wheat, a little bit of upside yesterday, but looks trapped underneath resistance to me. Sugar looks like a solid weekly rejection to me. I would be looking for more downside. Soybeans still kind of alleviating an oversold status by trading sideways below resistance, but I see more downside here for soybeans too. Corn is interesting here. maybe just a little bit more downside towards $5.50, and then I want to see a lot of consolidation and then a move upwards here to yeah. I think corn is starting to get to the point where maybe it's just been a little bit too bearish. Brent crude recovering pretty nicely the last couple days here. Back over some of the uptrends that I have drawn here because I'm really not sure where the uptrend is. So I've got like several different lines drawn here, but we're back over some of them. It's kind of interesting. Okay, why don't we go ahead and look at chart lines?
Let's do it. It's almost 2:30. Just enough time to knock out a few requests we have already accumulated for today. 15 minutes to go for the chest opening as well, so stand by for that. All right, let's get into it. First request of the day is the following. Hex is seemingly buzzed about today. Let me get this to requests on screen. All right, so the first one comes from the Troll Cloud on YouTube. Can you please talk about Hex, whether it's a scam or a good buy? I just bought 500 Hex, by the way. And another user by the name of David Morales. Hex is killing it today. What is happening with Hex? All right.
I don't know what's happening with Hex. It does seem to be killing it today, and it does seem to be wanting to close the day above resistance. So if we close today above 10 cents, I think it's probably a good long here. You can see we even held the uptrend. So there's really nothing to complain about here if we close the day like that. I do think it's a scam, but the market doesn't appear to agree with me. So, I mean, hey, scam coins pump the hardest. That's what we say around here, right? I don't know what to tell you, but some of our users have owned it. They've made quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
Sure, it could keep going if we close the day like this.
All right, there is.
But I mean, I'm not. We're not in on Hex News or something. So I mean, you tell us if there's Hex News.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Hex today, but it's just continuing its march up. As for whether or not it's a scam, I don't think it's an outright scam, but you know, opinions are quite split on Richard Hart, the origin address, etc., etc. But it, you know, the FUD and the hate has been circulating around Hex for what, a year plus now, and yeah, I think it's been like for the year and a quarter, year and a half-ish. Either way, the FUD's been circulating, hasn't stopped the currency yet, so we've been wrong to date. Maybe your 500 Hex purchase here is well spent. I wish you the best of luck and Godspeed, my man on YouTube with the Hex request. Thank you for these two. Alex, I presume that's your thoughts on Hex. Kind of ripe for a continuation long.
Here, it could continue.
Yep.
As far as, is it a scam? Yeah, I think it's a scam, but there's clearly lots of people have made money off of this scam, so it's up to you, bud.
All right, scam away, gentlemen. Let's get into the next request. It's the following for Polly B. Oh, my Axes are going bonkers again today. All right, this of course relates to Axie Infinity. It is one of the top gainers today. Could we take a look at AXS?
Sure.
Let's see, how long has this rally been going on? 3 days now? Whoa, a week or two now. Okay.
Yep.
Looks like a continuation signal to me. We should have it at the end of today.
I'm gonna chart.
It could keep going. We say new all-time highs beget new all-time highs. So if you take off log, yeah, just straight up. There's just I would be pretty hesitant about entering this area. This is pretty much, if you're not already in this, then you missed it. But if you are still in this, like Polly B is, I don't see any reason to be getting out right now. Just keep holding. We certainly haven't broken the uptrend. We haven't produced any 3-day sell signals. We've got lots of 1-day sell signals, but clearly the price is just
Yeah, that baby's going parabolic. Wow.
Yep. I hope rest of crypto does that. That would be real nice.
Yes, totally. I could use that right now. A bit of a pick me up after the summer doldrums are really starting to set in. Yeah, shout outs to Polly B. Congrats to you, Polly, on your Axes going bonkers today. Seems like it's a banger on the breakout. Let's get into the next request. It's for Boris Bitcoin, and he asked, "Can't we look at XTZ Bitcoin pairing, please? Tezos Bitcoin."
Got a nice continuation long signal kind of back here earlier in the week. I would argue that this has potential. Arguably, we've formed an inverse head and shoulders here. Let's say that was an inverse head and shoulders. Where would a measured move bring us to? The area makes sense. Resistance here, some resistance here, moving up, more resistance in this area. Interesting confluence with our VPBR right here. We can see there's a point of control up here in this spot. I'd say maybe take it back to what is that, 1,000 cents? Yeah, 1,000 cents. I think it could make sense in the trade here. Like I said, you're a little late to the continuation signal, but if you're in it, then I think there's something to be said for this area up here. What's next?
All right, well, there is your look, Mr. Boris Bitcoin at Tezos Bitcoin pairing. Let's get into the next request. We're just about 10 minutes to go for that chest opening as well. I'm going to prep that in just a minute. In the meantime, Blackbird987 asks the following. Do you care to take a look at the USDT dominance chart, USDT.D? I mean, I'm not sure what can be gained from looking. Is this the dominance of USDT versus other stablecoins? Or the dominance of USDT versus the crypto at large?
Something we usually look at.
I think versus crypto at large.
Okay.
Looks like it could keep going up. That's all I've got to say.
All right. Someone's still cashing out into USDT. I did read a piece today talking about record outflows of stablecoins from exchanges right now. That happens to be coinciding with record outflows or record lows of Bitcoin on exchange as well. All right. I guess you have no further information to add to USDT. Anything there strikes you? No.
I mean, I don't really have anything to say. It's not part of the TA that I do. The number can go up. There's my TA.
There you go. All right, shout outs to Blackbird for that one. Here is the next request. It comes from Heisenberg over on YouTube. They write, "Hey guys, can we look at Cream USDT?" All right, Cream USDT.
To me, this feels like we're kind of just hanging out at resistance here. We keep dumping all this volume right around 165 bucks, 167 or so. I'm not really that interested in it unless we start closing above this area. I mean, maybe we will later today, but every time we do, we kind of break back below it.
Interesting spot.
Yeah. Let's look at Binance. It's creaming out on. Okay.
Isn't the cream BSC?
CS or whatever.
Yeah, it's the March chain. Either way, you're looking at it.
No, the same thing is right here on the Binance chart. It's not just like an FTX thing. I think it makes more sense to be trying to pick cream back up near $100. I wouldn't be buying it near the top of this trading range, especially when we haven't broken out of the trading range at all, ever. So, yeah, I just don't see it. What's next?
All right, next up, Energy Web Token USD pairing EWT USDT.
Looks like more downside to me. Here's a lot of support right here. Here's us finding a lot of resistance in this spot. Doesn't look that good, does it? So, yeah, for right now, I see no reason why we would want to be long on this at all. What's next?
All right, there is Energy Web Token as well. Not feeling that for long. That's fine. Let's get into the next request. Rot died over on DLive requesting EOS USD.
Not quite giving us an exit signal, but this is looking like we might have already run into resistance right here. So resistance, resistance, resistance right here. It sucks, but it looks like crap like everything else does, except for like Oxy. So what else we got?
Well, that's EOS in the bag, looking pretty poopy indeed.
Doesn't look any different, unfortunately.
Yep, Crypto Bull 21 is next. He wants to look at SFY, please.
It looks petered out on the weekly to me. And then again, we look at any lower time frames. Yeah, I don't know really what to say about this. This is just still kind of moving up like a lot of the other traditionals. Keeps giving exit signals, but then it moves up anyway. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about it.
Not much to add on the SFY for Crypto Bull.
No, I'm sorry, Crypto Bull. I just don't see anything here that, I mean, I don't want to long it or short it or really do much with it right now.
All right, nothing to do there for now. Let's get into Eat1's request over on DLive. He writes, Uni is looking strong. Did you look at Uni earlier today? I thought you might have looked at Uni, but let's give Uni a look.
This looks like everything else. I don't know what you're smoking, buddy.
Yep, not sure. Pass me the Chiba, but this one.
Yeah.
This one's.
Sorry, buddy. Yeah. Not unless we get a continuation signal, which it really doesn't look like it wants to give us at this time.
All right. Well, this makes it easy. Breezing along now, guys. Only a couple of requests left, and we're about 3.5 minutes to go for the chest opening on DLive. So everything is coming together real nice as the show begins to wind down in the latter half of the latter hour. All right, here is Alex1233's request from DLive. He wants to look at TKO, please.
This doesn't look any different from anything else, man. Yeah. I don't see any reason why you should want to be in this right now. Like, we're crossed under here on our oscillator. We're below zero here. We don't, this is weird. Where's our dead zone? Anyway, I don't see anything here as long as we're below $1.50. Either we close above $1.50 or we collapse here. And if we do close above $1.50, then it'll be a good long. You probably take it back up towards like $2 or so, maybe even maybe 237. But as long as we're below $1.50, don't touch it. Just don't touch it. Look at all these rejections, right? That's ugly. Don't do it. What's next?
All right, nice and to the point on TKO. I have a little clarification here in the live chat from Blackbird in the D Live. He says, the reason I asked for USDT dominance was because it often has an inverse correlation versus crypto. And since it looks like it's about to close the weekly in a new breakout territory, yeah, loosely speaking.
That's the first I'm hearing about that, about USDT dominance.
Right. We don't ever check that.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? As more people sell into
I'll
USDT.
look at it. Maybe that's not. We can look at it. We can just, yep. It's same as we did with the Dixie. We'll look at it day by day, and hey, if we see inverse correlations after every day, then it's true. And if not, hey, maybe it'll be totally unrelated. Maybe it's like 50-50, and it just kind of seems that way to people. Because like a lot of times people are like, oh, you have to look at this chart. It matters so much, and then we look at it, and it never makes any fucking sense. Like looking at the shorts versus longs ratio. It's like sometimes it matters. Most of the times it doesn't matter.
All right, we are 60 seconds to go for the chest opening, so I'm gonna begin the process to opening that up now, guys, and we'll introduce the next request very shortly. All right, let's deposit some lemons in the chest, and about 30 seconds to go for me to open it up. So stand by, guys. That's going to be opened up in about 30 seconds time. Let me drop another ice cream in here myself, and I'll introduce the next request, and then I'll open the chest very shortly. Next one up, any word, should I buy a pre-sale Solana X at 30 cents? That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Oh, yeah. Don't know. Project, no comment.
Next not too sure. Solana's established. You figure their whatever decks they bring out could be worth a shake. I'm not too sure that we'd have to run the numbers on that.
You don't even know the Solana Dex is by that team. Just don't even. No. Yes. No comment.
Yes.
We don't know anything about the project. No comment. Next.
Yes. No comment precisely. All right. Let's open that chest up. Clock just struck 2:45. Here come the lemons. Let me see if I can't get a little preview on screen for you guys. Here is the distribution alert. Check this out. All right. I'm going to introduce the next request in just a second. Got about 10 seconds to go to claim your lemons. Get them now. Get them. All right.
Get them.
Well, let's do it. Here we go. We have the following. One of the last requests. B-Flow wants to look at REV on ChartX. That's REVV on ChartX. And the lemons have been distributed. Big shout outs to today's big winners. Crypto Bull in first with over 100 lemons. Alex 1233 with 59 lemons. Taz Blitz with 42 lemons. Blackbird with 34 lemons. Rhino TD with 28 lemons. Congrats, guys. Congrats to all the big lemon winners today. Make sure you throw a few more back in the pot. In the meantime, back to Alex. Rev.
I think I kind of like Rev here because we've retraced basically all of this breakout. I bet we've also put in a good 80% pullback, yada yada. Let's do a little TA on this. See what's up. Or maybe we should have this on log. Let's see. Mm-hmm. I guess that I'm just not sold that we're gonna take off from this area and immediately move up to retest 30 cents or so, which is the area that I would be looking at for retest. If we broke up, I'd want to see us move all the way back up towards 25, 30 cents. Probably the best way to play it here, because we're already at resistance in this spot with this area, this entire area being resistance. So these are really our important areas here. Okay, so at this point, because we're at resistance, I don't want to be buying in this area. I would rather buy above 15 cents when we've broken through this area and closed on the other side. And then we can think, aha, well, we have a breakout now above horizontal resistance. So we got all these other things going for us, including the break of this downtrend. Okay, presuming you're using indicators that got momentum and they're all giving the thumbs up. Then I think this could be a good setup to take back towards the 30-cent area. But until we do break that, I think there's a high probability we kind of push up here, reject, push up, reject a couple times right in this spot, and then boom, we come back down towards 8 cents, maybe even towards 7 cents. Just reaccumulate a little bit more before we head up here on Rev, and that's like maybe more likely, at least while we're here at resistance. But if we did break that 15 cents, then you're like, okay, well then now we're cooking with gas, and we got a little bit more room to go. So that's probably the best way to play this.
All right, there is your rather extensive look at Rev on ChartX for B-Flow. All right, took a little time for B-Flow's Rev request. Good, because we got 10 minutes left in the show. A couple requests still left. One thing to clarify, I see Blackbird. I did just want to read this comment. He says, where was it? He says, the reason I asked for USDT is because it's often... Okay, I mentioned that part, but he just clarified that... oh yeah, I'm surprised to hear you guys never heard about USDT correlation. I remember Justin Wise would look at it when he streamed. Indeed, I guess some people have their preferences, and yeah, I think Justin might have referenced USDT from time to time, but seemingly not something that is in, our current repertoire here at the channel. Let's get into the final request or two. Here we go. Chico, I see the request you posted late yesterday being posted late today. I will certainly try to get those done for you next. Boris Bitcoin, can we look at the XLK ETF if there's time? Thank you. All right, XLK ETF.
This is basically the NASDAQ chart. Here, watch. So the SLK is basically technology stocks, and the NASDAQ is basically technology stocks. So what this is... Did I... Wait, what's the ticker again?
XLK.
XLK. Yeah, so I just don't have anything different here to say than I did for the NASDAQ. Incredibly, it continues to push up. I am shocked. Right now, we've got a continuation signal. Today's candle is concerning, but whatever, it can keep going up. If we break the uptrend, then I would look to, maybe look for some puts on tech stocks or whatever. But for now, it's probably going to keep going up. What's next?
Yeah, rip-roaring those tech stocks are. Here we go. Last request or two in the request line. All right, new user here on YouTube. Shoutouts to C Deadpool Block. Deadpool Block, welcome to the channel. Be sure to follow and subscribe if you like what we do here. We, of course, come live every day, 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday. He asks, can you take a look at LSK, please? Yeah, we certainly can. Lisk?
Lisk, there's a name I haven't heard for quite a while.
I don't like it, but yeah, LSK has been just a bitch in the past, but I don't think this chart looks very good at all.
Yeah, this looks like crap, like basically half the other charts we've looked at.
You need a test of the lows at least first.
I mean, at this time, we do kind of look trap below resistance, don't we? See, we got support right here, we got resistance right here. I don't want it unless we start closing back up in this area.
I've just decided to not trade LSK ever again. I beat it once and I'm done.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why we'd want to be in this. What's next?
Alright, not feeling the LSK at the moment, but Deadpool, hit us back up with another request maybe later this week. We'll look forward to having you back on the show. Always good to see a new user come through our doors. In the meantime, we got a couple minutes left and we got the final request of the day. Coming from Chico Blanco Verano on YouTube, he writes, can we look at OHM, O-H-M? This would be the die pairing on sushi. You might need your metamorphosis.chartx.pro.
Okay.
OHM die, that's the one.
Yeah, I would be pretty cautious here that we don't just keep rejecting from this resistance level.
Break a mind.
Yeah, it looks strong, but I wouldn't do anything with it while we're here at resistance. If we close above $500, then I think it could be a good long. Probably take it all the way up to maybe $900, $880. See this area up here, resistance right here. There's a lot of sense to this area. See, it's like this is a long-term consolidation area right here, so presuming we break over $500, I think I would look to take it up towards this area. But we could also reject from here, break down, trade up. God, these people drive me crazy with their construction up. Yes, so rejection from here, bad. Take to here, otherwise, yeah. What's next?
Alright, one last request for Chico in the YouTube live chat. He writes, he wants to look at ILV. This is Illuvium. Illuvium. ILV. What is ILV Illuvium?
I don't think I've heard of that one.
Well, I mean, geez, really not much we can do with this here.
Going, gone. That's quite the movement on the daily.
Yeah, look, I don't know what to do with this in this spot. This is way too new for any of our indicators to be working. It made a new all-time high. Maybe it could keep going, but presumably this is off the back of some sort of fundamental news that I don't know about. So I'm just not interested in it. I just don't see anything like technical analysis-y. It's just, you know, the number went up and that's kind of impressive, but I don't know what I would do with it. What do you do if you buy here and then we start breaking down? What's next?
That would be it. Just
Okay.
taking a look at some stats on ILV. It's currently got a $70 million market cap, fully diluted at $1 billion. So, ILV, eh? Well, thank you, Chico, for bringing this one to our attention. But indeed, seems like you've already killed it on the ILV trade, assuming you got in somewhere near that bottom. Open world fantasy battle game built on Ethereum, often touted as the first AAA game on Ethereum. Illuvium looks to provide a source of entertainment to both casual and hardcore DeFi fans through a range of collecting and trading features. Alright. The Illuvium world's inhabited by creatures known as Illuvials, who can be captured by players and blah 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 blah. Alright, well, Mr. Ash Ketchum, I wish you the best of luck on your catching all the Illuviums in this ILV world. AAA title, okay, well, all the power to Ethereum and bringing a top tier game or any kind of crypto mechanics to the wider gaming world out there. That's about it though. There is your look at ILV and Ohm for Chico. How are we doing on time? Alright, got about a minute and a half left in today's show. That means we're going to wind it down right here, right now. Another Tuesday edition of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update is in the bag. Thank you again to everybody who kicked it with us this afternoon. Never a dull day in the markets, except for this last stretch of kind of boring summer activity. Let's see here. OC Deadpool Block says thank you guys. All right, shout outs to Mr. Deadpool. Yeah, thank you indeed. Chico says thank you for the analysis, always. ILV is a AAA blue chip NFT game, says Chico. Yep, according to just similar to what I just read.
Sounds cool, but I mean, with what we do here, like that's fundamental stuff. And what we do here, like with the chart, I just don't know what I would do. It's just too new.
Alex, you're crazy. Alex, let me explain something to you. In a year from now, everybody's going to be playing Illuminians, whatever this thing is called.
That's right. Crazy.
And you're going to be look like a chump if you don't have some top tier Illuvian creatures locked into your Pokeballs. You know,
it's all over.
Yeah, you're gonna be a sucker.
It really is.
So you're gonna be paying $1,000 a creature in a year from now, and you could be getting in right now at $10 a creature. So what are you waiting for? Get in now. Illuvians, this is the future. You thought Pokemon were big? Wait till you see what Illuvians does for the kids. The kids are all gonna be logging onto Binance to get their ethers so they can get in on the ILV craze. Something like that. I don't know, guys. This is not trading advice. This is merely satire, but I can't thank you guys enough for kicking it with us this afternoon. Mac W, David Rice, Taz Blitz, all with thank yous. Thank you for a great show, says Right on Rice. Have a great day. Great day to you guys. Rhino TD, thank you guys. Thank you as well. Jordan Stotts with us as well. Got it. Thank you, he says. Thank you very, very much. Jordan Stotts also wrote Jack, Alex, and Neil. You guys place orders during the live stream. Who the hell is Neil?
He calls me Neil.
Why does he call you Neil?
It's from a long time ago. He was paying attention about maybe even 2 years ago.
Right.
So I can't remember what it was, but I told him to call me Neil because I'm on a moon mission.
I see. All right. Well, Jason, you've just been fired. Neil, you've got the new top spot. But yes, shout out to Jordan Stotts. Do we place orders during the live stream ever? No, not really. Never. Not me personally. Even sometimes when the FUD or the FOMO kicks in real hard, hearing the analysis, I sometimes am tempted to log into MyBit, do a market order, but no, I've generally curbed bad behavior like that.
Actually, not only do I not enter stuff during the live stream, I've exited positions before I got in the live stream because I'm not going to be trading while I'm doing the show. So if there's a trade that I think is like a little risky and I've been babying, you probably shouldn't do stuff like that, but we all do. If I got a trade I've been babying, I'll just take it off if I'm going to be doing the show. I don't want to have to worry about it at all.
And with trading the daily, I've just come to know, like, I've gotten burned too many times trying to preemptively take a signal. So I just wait till, like, if it looks good or whatever, I'll flag it to where I'll look at it on my scan. But I never, like 99.9% of the time, won't take a position until close.
So true.
Yes, indeed, indeed. All right, guys, that's it. The clock has struck 3 o'clock. We are going to get out of here. Can't thank you guys enough. Deadpool, thanks, guys. Have yourself a great new and you too. Beeflo asks, Jack, what's an NFT going to do for you when you're living in the mountains of Montana catching fresh salmon? You're right. In that environment, I likely ain't going to need any NFTs. A singing bass NFT hanging on the cabin wall sounds cool. Yeah, it certainly does. We can reinvent so many of your favorite collectibles and your nostalgic toys and pieces from the last couple decades. And what's old will be new again thanks to NFT technology. Yes, I for one welcome my new digital overlords. Ownership is never going to be the same again. All right. Enough talk, guys. We're out of here. Peace out to everyone. We'll see you for the Wednesday edition of the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. Final words.
Oh, man. Did you guys look at SHIB?
What's SHIB
up
doing?
to?
Are we about to buy SHIB?
Taking another giant dump.
I told you we shouldn't be buying it yet.
You're right.
It's got more downside.
Yeah, it's got my downs. Barely.
It's gonna keep dumping from there. It's gonna at least hit that level of support, I think.
There's so much pain in this consolidation area.
Pain is real.
Well,
All right. Well, SHIB. Final words. SHIB, pain. There you go. Someone called the Humane Society. This doggy getting wrecked. Anything else, gentlemen, before I hit the stream ending sequence? Any goodbyes? Buy it all with Bitcoin. That's it. Jason?
Well, I mean, I am kind of leaning towards the bear's case for Bitcoin right now. Just in a few shorts, keeping my risk low at this point because, I mean, we really don't know where this thing's going to pop off to, so we might as well protect our capital in the rangy market. But just trade safely, guys. I mean, it's a rough one out there right now until we get a really good direction.
You at 30K?
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace out, guys. We're out now.
Bye.
bye.
Goodbye.